Hi, Mr. Wright here, and welcome to this set of IGCSE exam questions, which are about grades 6 to 8. So these sets of questions are perfect if you're approaching your exams and you want to practice questions on a range of topics, all at a certain level. So hit the link in the description, download the questions, have a go, and then watch my worked solutions. If you find this film useful, please hit like, and if you have any questions, of course, leave them in the comments and I'll respond. Good luck. Question 1. The diagram shows two triangles, A and B. The area of triangle B is 3 times the area of triangle A. Given that B is greater than 4, find an expression for A in terms of B. Right, let's have a look at this left-hand triangle. I think I'm going to need to find an expression for its area. Now, that's not a right-angle triangle, but I know that the area of the triangle is a half AB sine C. So that's going to be a half AB sine 150. Well, sine 150 is a half, so I simply have AB over 4 here. Right, looking at the right-hand triangle, that is a right-angle triangle. So I'm going to do the base, multiply it by the height, over 2. Let's just simplify that now. It's going to give me AB plus 2A plus a B plus 2 all over 2. Right, now in the question it says that the area of triangle B, which is this expression, AB plus 2A plus B plus 2 over 2, is equal to 3 times the area of triangle A. So there is my expression there, but I want an expression for A in terms of B. So I want to make A the subject of this expression. Right, well, to start with, I'm going to multiply everything by 4. Okay, if I multiply the left-hand side by 4, then I'm simply going to multiply the numerator by 2. So 2AB plus 4A plus 2B plus 4 equals 3AB. Now I have to make A the subject, so I'm going to have anything with an A on it, anything involving A on the left-hand side. So I'm going to minus 3AB from both sides. So that's going to leave me with minus an AB. I'll keep the 4A here. I'm going to minus 2B from both sides and minus 4 from both sides. Now, let me write this like that, just because I find it a bit easier. Okay, now I'm going to factorize the left-hand side. Gives me gives me A lots of 4 minus B. So now I can simply, in order to make A the subject, divide both sides by 4 minus B. So here is an expression for A in terms of B, and that is the question done. 2. N is a positive integer. Explain why 2n plus 1 is an odd number for all values of n. Well, if n is a positive integer, then 2n equals even, as it's a multiple of 2, which means that 2n plus 1 is odd. Okay, now B. Show using algebra that the sum, the total of any 4 consecutive odd numbers, is always a multiple of 8. So I'm going to need to build an expression up for the total 4 consecutive odd numbers. Well, part A has given me the expression for one odd number, 2n plus 1. So the next consecutive odd number is going to be 2 more than that, so 2n plus 3. The next one is going to be 2n plus 5, and the fourth consecutive odd number is 2n plus 7. Now, let's simplify that. I'm going to get 8n plus 16. Okay, now how can I show that that's always a multiple of 8? Well, the answer is show that 8 is a factor of it. So there we go. There I have shown that the sum of any 4 consecutive odd numbers is always a multiple of 8. Okay, show that this expression here is equal to 31 minus 9 root 2. Show each stage of your work. Right, so I'm going to start off with the expression that I'm given. 5 minus root 8 multiplied by 7 plus root 2. I'm simply going to expand that bracket, simplify it, and hope I get to what they want. And the idea, of course, is not to mess it up. 5 7s are 35. 5 times root 2 is 5 root 2. Minus root 8 times 7 is minus 7 root 8. And minus root 8 times root 2 is minus root 8 times root 2. Okay, so I've got the 35. I've got some root 2's here. These root 8's, I'd like to change those to root 2's. Now root 8 is the same as the root of 4 2's. Minus, now root 8 times root 2 is just root 16. Okay, 35 plus 5 root 2. Now I can see that I can square root the 4 and pull that out of the square root, which is going to give me 7 times 2, so 14 root 2 here, minus the root of 16 is 4. Okay, 35 minus 4 is 31, plus 5 root 2's minus 14 root 2's is minus 9 root 2. Hope for the best. That is what they asked me to have for my answer. So I've done it. Question B. Given that C is a prime number, rationalize the denominator of this expression. Well, I'm going to multiply top and bottom by root C, because that will rationalize the denominator. Changing the denominator, root C times root C is C. Right. 3C times root C is 3C root C, minus root C times root C is C. Now, I can simplify the top, factorize it. C lots of 3 root C minus 1 all over C. So now I can easily see that I can divide top and bottom by C, giving me 3 root C minus 1. And that is the solution to part B. And 5. Here is an expression for y. I'm asked to differentiate that with respect to x. So y is x squared minus 16 over x. I'm going to write 16 times x to the power of minus 1. So I'm going to differentiate that now. dy by dx, 2x plus 16x to the power of minus 2. So I'll write that down here, and might make it easier for me later if I write 16 over x squared rather than 16 times x to the power of minus 2. Okay, let's have a look. Right, the graph shows part of the curve with that equation. Okay. The point P is a turning point of the curve. Right, that means that I know that at P, the gradient is 0. Work out the coordinates of P. Well, I know that at P, the gradient is 0. So I know that the gradient function, which is this, will equal 0 at the point P. So if I solve this equation, multiply everything by x squared, if I solve this equation, then I will find the x coordinate that gives me that gradient of 0. So dividing both sides by 2, if x cubed is minus 8, then x must be minus 2. So the x coordinate here at P is minus 2. So I need to work out the coordinates of P, so I'm also going to need to know the y coordinate, aren't I? So I know that the equation of the curve is this. And so if x is minus 2, then y will be minus 2 squared, which is 4, minus 16 over minus 2. 16 over minus 2 is minus 8. So I'm going to have 4 plus 8, which is 12. So the coordinates of my turning point P are minus 2, 12. Okay, that is question 5 done. Mr. Wright here. I hope you found those questions and worked solutions useful. If you did, this is one film of several in the series, so you're sure to find more practice if you want it. In the meantime, if you found the film useful, please hit like. If you've got any questions, please leave them in the comments and I'll respond. And if you'd like more of the same, please consider subscribing to the channel. See you in the next film.